Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new 4-2-3-1 narrow formation to review with tactics, right? Very meta formation, obviously, and I kind of wanted to show you guys how I've been lining up with it. Now, if you guys take a look at this team, right, because of the rotation policy that I always talk about in teams, as you guys know, I don't really play FIFA that much to grind out coins to get different cards and whatnot because I'm not really fond of the game in that way. So this team is a team that I've had for a long time. You can see a lot of them are gameplay objective cards. I got Rio Ferdinand, the Prime Icon pack from the Icon swaps. You know, Bernardo Silva, Pactus Shapeshifters, Ricardo Pereira. All of these guys are pretty much untradeable except for maybe Dembele. Dembele is also untradeable. I think Nelson Semedo is the only one that's untradeable or tradable in this entire team. A lot of these guys are just dudes that are sitting on my team. But I work with what I got. It was very difficult to try to figure out which types of players I wanted for this 4-2-3-1 because, like I said, I don't play the game a lot to get the specifics that I need, right? So in regards to the 4-2-3-1, guys, it is very important to get the right types of players for the formation. So I'll show you guys how I line up in-game with these players in the starting 11. So I line up exactly like this, with Ryan Kent off to the left side, Bernardo Silva in the middle, Ousmane Dembele off to the right side, Osimhen in the middle, Blanc, Bakayoko with that 5-star weak foot on the left side, Ricardo Pereira, Nelson Semedo, blah, 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 right? So the only cards for the concept that I'm trying to work with, right, that are potentially a nuisance in the team is Chris Smalling because his acceleration is not high enough, right? His acceleration is a 67. So obviously you want it to be base like 78, 82, 81 so that when you give him the shadow chemistry style increase, whatever his agility and balance is, it'll compensate really well for it, right? That acceleration with the agility and balance that he currently has, not necessarily ideal. So I am working towards getting the Icon Swaps Maldini, which would be an ideal situation, and I will show you why. With Rio Ferdinand, you're looking at a card that is medium work rates. But I like to have a medium-high work rated player next to a card like Rio Ferdinand, and I'll explain to you guys why. So I don't remember exactly which one it is that they give you. I think it is the 92 version of the card. I could be mistaken, but this is it right here. If you guys take a look at this card, if you were to give him a shadow chemistry style with that pace, that defense, and the physical that's already there, in all fairness, with the medium-high work rates, it would work out really nicely in this team, and I'll show you guys why. For the defensive area, in a 4-2-3-1 with my tactics, I use pressure on heavy touch with 5 depth. Pressure on heavy touch with 5 depth will make, right, my medium work rated player kind of be a neutral position, but my medium-high will compensate for the medium if he decides to be a tiny bit aggressive, right? So it's a very good balance between both of the center backs because once the guy starts attacking against me, the balance between them starts to shift into a line formation. You know, the irons are basically keeping the onside position, the offside position, and the way that they move in general is really nice, and that's what I do a lot of times when I review the center backs is I want to see what they're like aggressively defending, but then what they're like coming back on the defense to stay in line with the defender. And players that are medium-high that have good defensive stats like this Maldini card in a tactic like this works out really nicely. The other thing here is that the 2 CDMs that I'm using in Laurent Blanc and Bakayoko, characteristics are very important, right? Not all medium highs or high mediums or high highs play the same. Some players have their own little player ID that makes them less aggressive, more aggressive, all that good stuff, right? When I was doing the review for Bakayoko, I understood that cut passing lane was a mandatory instruction on the card to make him feel actually good in the game. I didn't like using him only on stay back while attacking and cover center, right? So because of that characteristic of him on that card of having cut passing lanes with the pressure on heavy touch, it'll make him aggressive with those 5-star with that 5-star weak foot kind of pushing up to kind of defend with his left foot and his right foot. But you have a very good balance in someone like Laurent Blanc, who is really oriented around the middle, right? Plays really nicely next to any other CDM. That characteristic is very important on the stay back while attacking cover center instruction with the pressure on heavy touch. The movement that you're getting with the medium-high work rate of Chris Smalling and the medium work rate of Bakayoko, it makes the game interesting. Now, it allows your opponent to attack if you don't defend well enough, of course, but I don't like this drawback stuff, right? So it's very interesting to be able to defend this way and have that pressure on your opponent and have fun in the game, right? So that's the back 4 decided and the 2 CDMs. the 2 CDM instructions really depends on the characteristics of your player. If I had another player in my team, right, that I can play in the CDM position, that was either a high work rated player, but his own characteristics was to be around that semicircle area in the or the half circle in the and at the halfway point, or the semicircle area at the 18-yard box, that would be a beautiful characteristic to have with just stay back while attacking cover center. But some players require the cut passing lane instruction to really utilize the characteristics, right? So someone like, the perfect example would be someone like Icon Moments Petite in that CDM position would play absolutely beautifully next to the Laurent Blanc card with his high work rates. It would be absolutely gorgeous. That's the ideal situation, right? Because Petite's card is a type of card that whatever instruction you give him, he'll play it well. Laurent Blanc, I don't really like him on cut passing lanes, right? But on stay back while attacking cover center, he's perfect. But if I need to adjust Petite's card to whatever instruction I need to put on him, he'd play it really nicely. Excuse me. In regards to the 3 cams, right? The 3 cams need to come back on defense, right? Now, the reason why I need them to come back on defense is because of the pressure on heavy touch. If my CDMs decide to push up the field, but I have players that have decent stamina coming back in the attacking area with very important work rates, right? High medium or high work rates, which you can see on both Kent and for Dembele's card, they both have those work rates. High-low work rates, I do not like on the sides because of this very reason, right? It just does not work for me personally. So the high mediums, to have a little bit of a defensive presence, to play with a good balance off the midfielders is very important for me. So that's the midfielders down. All 3 are on comeback and defense. Let's take a look at their stamina. We have 85 stamina for Kent. We have 69 stamina for Dembele, which obviously isn't great, but again, he's a great player to use in the beginning of the game. And then we have 99 stamina with Bernardo Silva. Again, I'm working with what I have in my team because I don't play this game that much, right? You ideally want to use high, medium work rated players, high work rated players on the sides to create a very good balance with your midfielders in the defensive area and the attacking area, right? And then last but not least, the characteristics of the striker and the instructions on the striker. So with Osimhen, right, I have to tell him to stay central because his movement off the ball on balanced instructions is awful, right? Now, his dribbling is not necessarily always the most responsive, which could be a letdown sometimes, but he's still a very good card to use if you don't have a lot of money or a big meta, right? His high work rates is a very good balance in the midfield area and the attacking area because, right, because of the tactics that I use for it. I have decided to go with the possession playstyle on the offense with 2 players in the box and a 4 width. Reason being for this is because of the characteristics of the players, right? Kent, Dembele, Bernardo Silva are all aggressive-oriented attackers. Dembele is like a combination of stick to position but also aggressive attacker. He's like a combination of the two, but Bernardo Silva and Kent will overthrow that work rate. However, to play more to my playstyle, the possession based playstyle is really nice because what I noticed with these aggressive players that are always doing those cut insides on the sides, in the middle, is that they always try to get back on the onside position. So if I realize that they're overcommitting on the attack, I'll just play with my midfielders on the stay back while attacking with Bakayoko, Laurent Blanc, wait for them to transition back into the attacking area really nicely. But then once I transition forward with my defensive mids, they'll start doing those runs again. So it makes the play less predictable. The players are always moving. They're always really well positioned. Very important thing. So, the reason why I have players in the box set to 2 is because I realized that for my attacking playstyle, because Dembele, Kent, and Bernardo Silva are still going to be attacking-oriented midfielders, I have it set to players in the box set to 2 because, again, when they make those runs forwards, they get really quickly back into the positions, in the onside positions, to attack again. And you guys will notice this when I'm dribbling around the midfield area, how I'm waiting for them to make those specific runs. They trigger it themselves, which is exactly what you want your players to do. There's a lot of players you use in the left attacking mid position, right attacking mid position, that are very stagnant. A big example of that was Bellarabi's objective card. I personally didn't like the card because he was very positional oriented, and I need movement. I need an aggressive attacker. I need players to do the cut inside in the cam position without me telling them to, right? Very, very important thing to have. So you guys should try out these tactics and instructions. Do your thing with it. Again, the players that you have in the club are very, very important in regards to making this formation and the tactics work really nicely. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you guys the 2 Futchamps games I just played right now. I didn't continue because the delay and the ice skating feel of the game wasn't fun for me, but you guys can still see the very, very good movement of the players because of the characteristics that they have. Again, instructions are very, very important to the player type that you're using. It's not always going to be the same for everybody. A stay central and a striker will not work for everybody. Belotti's off the ball movement without the stay central is really good, but Osimhen requires it because he'll still make those runs to the side, but then he'll transition into the middle instantly because of that stay central instruction. So it really just depends on the types of players that you have, but the 3 cams and the 2 CDMs are going to be the most important players in your teams in regards to having the right types of players there in regards to the instructions that you give them. So I'm going to show you guys some highlights so you guys can get an idea of how the players move in the cut inside kind of aspects in the attacking area and the defensive area, and then you guys will see what I'm talking about in regards to general movement. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I will catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.
Has it. Well, pass after pass, maybe they can chisel an opportunity. A glorious chance. Well, that is how to nullify the opposition. Surely, it has to be surely. And it's gone in. Bakayoko has it. Here is Bakayoko. Bernardo Silva, and it's a quality pass. Bernardo Silva has it. Mastery of the passing game. And it might be. Must score. Goodness, he was right on top of the situation to get the ball back for his team. Kent. And he's broken free. Tenacious tackling. Excellent defending there. The referee has decided and slipped through beautifully. In to win the ball went Chris Smalling. Well, he's got plenty of space on the flank here. Might be a chance here. It really is such a free-scoring performance. Company. Ball. Bernardo Silva, he takes aim, and he's only gone and made it. It has gone over the touchline for what will be a throw-in. This looks promising. Bakayoko. The cross is on. Teammate in support. Will he find the net? Ousmane Dembele is the man who... Well, great read there to intercept. Now Ricardo Pereira has it. Kent. Bakayoko. Kent. Victor Osimhen. Laurent Blanc. Bernardo Silva. And Bernardo Silva has it. It's Bernardo Silva. And a goal it is. Mbappe with it. Here's Ben Yedder. Illegal play, and hence a free kick. Good tackle. He's enjoying space. Bernardo Silva. Can he make it count? It has to be, surely. And a goal to increase. Promising sequence. Magnificent defending. This might be ideal for the counter. Dembele. Osimhen. He's got the right idea with that pass. And begging to be put away.